This story is about starting a new chapter in life, facing challenges, and finding confidence on your first day at work. A young woman lands her very first job after finishing university. She experiences nerves, small mistakes, funny moments, and unexpected surprises, learning that growth and new beginnings can be exciting and rewarding. Listen and let this inspiring story also help you improve your English. The sun came through the thin curtains of Emma's small room. She opened her eyes slowly, then quickly sat up when she remembered. Today was important. Today was the day of her very first job interview after finishing university. Her heart beat faster than usual. She had dreamed about this moment for years, but now it was real. No more sleeping until noon, no more hiding behind student life. Today she had to show the world that she was ready to be an adult. She looked around her room. On the chair was her carefully chosen outfit, a simple white blouse and a navy skirt. She had ironed them 3 times last night because she wanted them to look perfect. On the table stood a cup of instant noodles from yesterday, her last student-style dinner, she thought with a little smile. Emma took a deep breath. "Okay," she whispered to herself. "Let's do this." Emma stood in front of the mirror, holding 2 different shoes in her hands. One pair was black and elegant but made her feet hurt after only 5 minutes. The other pair was soft and comfortable, but they looked more like shoes for school. She sighed. Why can't life be simple? In the end, she chose the elegant ones. Better to suffer a little than look unprofessional, she thought. She brushed her long hair and tried to make it look neat. Somehow, her hair always had its own ideas, but today she convinced it to behave. Then she added a little makeup, not too much, just enough to feel confident. Her bag was already packed with everything: a notebook, a pen, her CV, and even a small chocolate bar for emergencies. She checked the time. If she left now, she would arrive 30 minutes early. Perfect, she thought. Being late was her biggest fear. With one last look in the mirror, Emma whispered, "Wish me luck," and stepped out the door. Emma walked quickly to the bus stop. The morning air was fresh, and the city was already awake. Cars honked, people hurried, and somewhere a dog barked loudly as if wishing her luck. When the bus arrived, it was full. Emma squeezed inside, holding her bag tightly. The driver hit the brakes suddenly, and Emma almost fell into a man's lap. "Oops, sorry," she said, her face red. The man just laughed. "Big day?" he asked kindly. She nodded and smiled nervously. She kept checking her watch every 2 minutes, afraid the bus would stop forever in traffic. But soon she saw the tall glass building where her interview would be. It looked so shiny and serious, like it had never seen a joke in its life. As she got off the bus, Emma felt her stomach twist. "Okay," she whispered to herself. No turning back now. Emma entered the big office building, her heels clicking loudly on the floor. The sound made her feel as if everyone was staring, but in reality nobody cared. She found the reception desk and told the woman her name. "Please take a seat. Someone will call you soon," the receptionist said with a polite smile. Emma sat down in the waiting area. There were 3 other people there, all in smart clothes. One man had a very expensive watch. Another woman was reading notes on her tablet. The third looked so calm, as if she had done this 100 times before. Emma opened her notebook to look busy, but her hands were shaking a little. She thought about the chocolate bar in her bag, but eating it now would be too noisy. Minutes felt like hours. Then finally, a door opened and a voice called, "Emma Parker?" Emma stood up quickly, almost too quickly, and nearly dropped her notebook. "Yes, that's me," she said, forcing a smile. Emma followed the woman into a bright office. Behind a big desk sat 2 people, a man in a dark suit and a woman with glasses. They both smiled, which made Emma feel a little calmer. "Good morning, Emma." "Please take a seat," the man said. "Good morning," Emma answered, trying not to trip over the chair as she sat down. The woman with glasses asked the first question. "So, Emma, tell us about yourself." Emma took a breath. She had practiced this answer in front of the mirror many times. I just finished my degree in business. I like working with people and learning new things. I'm excited to start my career and, grow. Her voice shook a little, but she smiled bravely. The man nodded. Why do you want this job? Emma thought for a second. Don't say because I need money, she told herself. Instead, she said, because your company is known for giving young people a chance. And I really want to be part of a strong team. Two interviewers exchanged a quick look. Emma couldn't read it, but she hoped it was a good sign. The man leaned forward. What are your strengths? Emma sat up straight. I'm organized, I like solving problems, and I don't give up easily. And your weaknesses? The woman asked with a little smile. Emma's mind went blank for a second. Then, without thinking, she said, coffee. I drink too much coffee. Both interviewers laughed. Emma blushed but laughed too. I mean, sometimes I get nervous about speaking in front of big groups, but I'm working on it. The woman nodded. Thank you for being honest. After that, the questions felt easier. Emma talked about her university projects, a part-time job she had during summer, and even a time she fixed a mistake in a student event just before it started. When the interview ended, the man said, "We'll be in touch soon." Emma stood up, shook their hands carefully, and left the room. As she closed the door, she finally let out the breath she had been holding. Emma walked out of the building with shaky legs. She felt both proud and unsure. Did I do well? Did I say something stupid? The memory of the coffee weakness made her smile, then worry again. She went home, changed into her comfortable clothes, and collapsed on the bed. The interview was over, but now came the hardest part, waiting. Hours passed. Emma tried to distract herself by watching a series, then by cleaning her room, then by checking her phone every 5 minutes. Nothing. Finally, when she had almost given up hope, her phone rang. The screen showed an unknown number. Her heart jumped. Hello, she answered in a small voice. Hello, is this Emma Parker? A woman's voice asked. Yes, this is she. We are happy to tell you you got the job. Emma's eyes went wide. She sat up so fast she hit her head on the wall. Ouch. I mean, thank you. Thank you so much. After the call, Emma jumped around her room like a little kid. She called her best friend right away. I got it. I got the job, she shouted into the phone. Her friend screamed back with excitement. I knew it. You're amazing. We have to celebrate. That evening, Emma and her friend went out for pizza. They laughed, joked, and even made a small toast with soda. Emma felt light, like the whole world was smiling at her. But later, back in her room, reality hit her. Tomorrow was her first day at work. Suddenly, her stomach felt heavy again. She carefully placed her new ID card and a small notebook into her bag. She ironed her blouse one more time just to be safe. She even set 3 alarms, one on her phone, one on her old alarm clock, and one on her laptop. Before going to sleep, Emma whispered to herself, "Tomorrow is the start of everything." Emma woke up before her alarm. For a moment she just lay there, staring at the ceiling. This is it, she thought. Day 1. She got dressed carefully, checked her bag 3 times, and even polished her shoes with a tissue. Breakfast was quick, a slice of toast she could hardly taste because of her nerves. On the way to the office, Emma's head was full of questions. What if I don't understand something? What if my boss hates me? What if I press the wrong button and delete the whole company? The office building looked even taller than before. When she entered, the receptionist recognized her and smiled. First day? Good luck, Emma smiled back, feeling both proud and terrified. She took the elevator up to the 7th floor. The doors opened, and there it was, her new world. Rows of desks, people typing, phones ringing, and the smell of coffee everywhere. Welcome, Emma, a cheerful voice called. Emma followed the cheerful voice to a small office. A young woman with a bright smile waved at her. Hi, I'm Sarah. You must be Emma. Let me show you around. As they walked, Emma saw her new colleagues. Some were busy typing, some talking on the phone, and one man was making a weird face at a funny meme on his screen. Emma couldn't help but giggle quietly. Sarah introduced her to everyone. This is Mark, our accountant. That's Lila, she handles marketing. And over there is Tom, our IT guy. Emma shook hands with each person, trying not to stumble over her words. Everyone was friendly, which made her feel a little more relaxed. Finally, Sarah brought her to a small desk near the window. This is yours. Your boss will meet you soon. Emma sat down and looked around. Her desk already had a notebook, a pen, and even a tiny plant. Not bad for my first day, she thought, smiling. Emma opened her notebook and tried to remember everything she had learned at university. Her boss, Mr. Lewis, came over with a friendly smile. Emma, let's start with something simple today. Just organize these files and check the emails. Emma nodded, feeling confident. She started typing, opening folders, and marking important messages. Everything seemed fine until she accidentally sent a reply to the wrong client. Oh no, she whispered. Her face turned red. She imagined a huge explosion of angry emails arriving in her inbox. Before she could panic, Tom, the IT guy, came over. Relax. It's okay. Just fix it and no one will even notice. First day mistakes happen to everyone. Emma sighed in relief and fixed the email. Then she laughed quietly to herself. I guess I already made my first memory here, she thought, smiling at the small plant on her desk. Around noon, Emma's stomach reminded her that she hadn't eaten. Sarah invited her to join a few colleagues for lunch. Emma hesitated but then agreed. They walked to a small cafe nearby. Emma tried not to spill anything or say something awkward. Luckily, everyone was friendly and funny. Mark told a story about his cat getting stuck in a tree, and Lila laughed so hard she almost dropped her sandwich. Emma laughed too, feeling more comfortable than she expected. For the first time that day, she felt like she belonged. She realized that work wasn't only about tasks and emails, it was also about people. During lunch, someone asked, So, Emma, any hidden talents? Emma paused, then said with a smile, I can make a perfect chocolate mug cake in 5 minutes. Everyone laughed. We'll have to test that one day, Sarah said. Emma felt a small warmth inside. She thought maybe this job won't be so scary after all. After lunch, Emma returned to her desk feeling more confident. She answered emails, organized files, and even helped Lila with a small report. Everything went smoothly until her boss, Mr. Lewis, called her over. Emma, can you check this client's account? There seems to be a problem, he said, handing her a folder. Emma opened it and froze. This client. I recognized the name. It's the same company I did a small internship with last summer. She had thought that experience was long gone, but now she was face to face with her old work. She took a deep breath and smiled nervously. I know them, she said. I worked on a small project for them before. Mr. Lewis raised an eyebrow but smiled. Perfect. Then you know how to handle it. Emma felt a mix of relief and surprise. Wow, this is going to be interesting, she thought. By late afternoon, Emma felt both tired and proud. She had answered emails, fixed a small mistake, helped her team, and even impressed her boss a little. Before leaving, Sarah came to her desk. You did really well today, Emma. Don't worry about the small mistakes. You handled everything like a pro. Emma smiled, feeling a warm glow inside. She packed her bag, waved goodbye to her new friends, and stepped out into the evening air. The city looked different now, less scary, more like a place full of possibilities. On the way home, she thought about the day. I was nervous, I made a tiny mistake, but I survived. And I even had fun. Maybe I can really do this. When she finally entered her apartment, Emma sank onto the couch and closed her eyes. She whispered to herself, First day done, and I can't wait for tomorrow. The next morning, Emma woke up feeling excited instead of nervous. She remembered her first day, the small mistake, the laughter at lunch, and the surprise client. It all felt like a small adventure. She smiled as she got dressed and packed her bag. Work didn't feel like a scary place anymore. It was a place where she could learn, grow, and meet interesting people. Emma realized something important. Starting something new was always a little scary, but it could also be full of joy, surprises, and little awe moments that made life fun. As she walked to the office again, she whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." And she believed it. Emma's first job wasn't just about work. It was about discovering herself and finding her place in the world.